They optimized my bottlenecks, removed redundant pointer checks. The database's sub-selects are indexed to a T. They shaved the microseconds down till there was nothing left to count. I instantaneously found the answer in a breeze. But I've been feeling so alone. Nobody here is calling from a function or a phone. If I'm dead code, let me die.
It's the Monday Morning Show. Today is January 5th, 2014. I'm Ken LaSalle. That's Josh Woodward singing Dead Code. You can find out more about Josh at joshwoodward.com. You can find out more about me at kenlasalle.com. Welcome to 2015. In my first show this year, now available in podcast form and on YouTube, I wanted to talk to you about writing. There's a lot to tell. I thought last year was pretty busy. I released 6 books, recorded 5 audiobooks, and worked with Widow Publishing to put out my romantic fantasy, The Wrong Magic. To be honest, it felt like I was working non-stop. And that was fine by me, because the goal of this whole writing career is exactly that, to do this non-stop. Mind you, there's a difference between busy and crazy, and I think I'll be crossing over into crazy land this year. With the help of my terrific agent, I've put together 4 releases for 2015, and those are just the releases with a publisher. Here's their release schedule. Winter of 2015 will see the return of Climbing Maya, this time from kal-ba Publishing. Look for this nonfiction title in ebook and paperback, and I'll be producing a special audiobook edition. What is success? Is it the same for everyone? Find out in Climbing Maya. In spring 2015, Limitless Publishing brings a story of love and loss, 2 things that never work out as planned. In my new novel, Heaven Enough. Sometimes you don't need all of heaven. Sometimes all you need is heaven enough. Look for that in ebook and paperback. Summer 2015 will see the release of Worm Food Island from Vagabondage Press. If you're tired of zombies, get ready for a shot in the arm, because Worm Food Island presents zombies like you have never seen before. When a strange disease takes over a hedonist resort, it's not long before the living are trapped on Worm Food Island. Available in ebook and paperback. And finally, in autumn 2015, I'll answer the question, what are ethics? How are we to live ethically in the 21st century? Find out in Dynamic Pluralism from kal-ba Publishing. Look for it in ebook and paperback, and I'll be producing a special audiobook edition. All told, it's a terrific schedule, and I couldn't have asked for a better showcase for my different styles of writing. Memoir, romance, visceral horror, and philosophy. In addition, I don't doubt I'll be releasing a few surprises as well. You know, if I survive. Last year, when I worked with Widow to release The Wrong Magic, we put in a lot of hours to make it shine, and we ended up with a great title. If you like my writing, I think it's a superb title to pick up. But that was just one book. This year, I'm going to multiply that by 4. Already, I've started working with Limitless on the editing for Heaven Enough, and I've also started putting together the special 2nd edition of Climbing Maya. Since Climbing Maya will be the first of the 4 books to come out, I'd like to talk about that for just a moment. This 2nd edition is something I'm really looking forward to. The publisher on the 1st edition didn't really seem to get what it was about. They weren't very committed to nonfiction, so we often bumped heads. With kal-ba, however, I really feel like I found a kindred kind of spirit. I'd hate to jinx myself, but they really appear to understand what I'm trying to do. So, what am I trying to do? Well, Climbing Maya is a book that asks the question, what is success? The question came to me at a time when I was between jobs, kind of between places in my life as well. One friend was dying from leukemia. Another friend was trying to bury himself in a bottle. Nothing was certain. Not too much made sense. I was sitting on the 91 freeway here in Southern California, and when I say I was sitting, I mean just that. Traffic was stuck. Nobody was going anywhere. I looked at the other people around me, all of them frustrated in their attempt at getting on with their lives, going to work, returning to their families, wherever they were headed. And I realized at that moment, we were all looking for just one thing. It's that same one thing Jack Palance talks about in City Slickers, if you'll pardon an old movie reference. That one thing is success. And it occurred to me at that moment that I had no real idea what it was. What is success? We're all told to go for it, to be successful, but nobody ever tells you what that is. They tell you to make a lot of money, or to work your way up in your job, or to have a family. I mean, the list goes on and on. How can it be so many things? How can it be just one thing? It was probably the worst time possible to consider writing a book about something I knew nothing about. But I doubt there would ever have been a good time. I decided right then and there that I had to write it. Granted, I didn't know when or how I would. I had no clue where to go or how long it would take. To be honest, I would have loved to find an easy answer, and I was fairly annoyed to find that wasn't going to be possible. You see, there are a lot of people out there happy to tell you how you can become successful. Religious leaders will tell you to get closer to God. Late-night infomercials will tell you to flip houses, buy low and sell high for maximum profit. If you head out to the bookstore, you can find entire racks of books dedicated to telling you how to live your life. That's no problem at all. But we all need to find success our own way. We all need to live our own life. My goal was never to tell anyone how to live. I wanted that dot on the map, that goal that pointed to success. What do I mean? Let me give you an example. If someone tells you to go to the store and buy eggs, you pretty much know what to do. If you're asked to find Waldo in a picture, that's fairly understandable. But when people tell you to find success, what's that? Nobody had written a book about that before, and that's exactly why I decided to do it. After all our problems with the first publisher, I was a bit skittish about signing with just anyone. Kal-ba has a great record of publishing new modes of thought and interesting ideas. On top of that, they like the way I think, and I think that's a good sign of how things will work out. I didn't want to release Climbing Maya again unless we also released it as an audiobook, and when Kal-ba agreed, I was on board. And so, it all begins once again. My first step in producing the audiobook will be reading the entire text to make it, how shall I say, audiobook friendly. You'd be surprised how much the order of words affects how a book sounds when read aloud. So I'm going to spend the next couple of weeks sitting down and reading Climbing Maya out loud. Not a bad way to make a living. Kal-ba has also generously offered me the opportunity to write a brand new afterword, updating the reader on everything that has happened since the first edition. Where have the characters gone in their search for success? How have I changed? Most importantly, however, it's a great opportunity for me to clarify some of the ideas and conclusions now that I've had a few years to live with them. 4 books in 1 year. It feels like a starting point to something big, or at least something bigger. And I don't mind that at all. I'm ready. But that's enough about my writing this month. How about the cool thing for the week? And why not let's start this year with a cool way to make our life better? How's that sound? According to a recent article in The Telegraph titled Secret of Healthy Aging Discovered in Groundbreaking 35-Year Study, there's now a lot more evidence that living a healthy lifestyle ultimately pays off in old age. After all, who wants to be infirm, diseased, and unable to look after themselves when they're older? Here's a hint. Not me. Now listen, I'm no fitness guru. I won't kid you. But I'm doing what I can, not to mention trying to get in shape for my 2017 PCT trip. Anyway, the article reads, and I'll post a link in the show notes, the writer Kingsley Amis once quipped that there was no pleasure worth giving up for the sake of 2 more years in a geriatric home. But for pensioners who have been following a pioneering health regime for the last 35 years, an aesthetic lifestyle appears to be the secret of a fit and happy old age. In 1979, 2,500 men were asked to follow 5 simple rules: eat well, work out, drink less, keep their weight down, and never smoke. Nearly 4 decades on, just 25 pensioners have managed to stick to the plan, but they are all far fitter and healthier than the volunteers who gave up. Those who stuck to the plan have dramatically cut their risk of cancer, diabetes, heart attack, stroke, and dementia. Okay, so it may be an anecdotal study, but it's not the first of its kind. I had a kinesiology professor who put it to me this way: we are all going to die, right? But do you want to die suddenly after living a long and healthy life? Or do you want to die slow, really slow, and painfully, from diseases you could have prevented? The odds are greater, if you take care of yourself, that you'll live longer and happier if you do those simple things. Eat well, eat right, work out, don't drink so much, keep the weight off, and don't smoke. I'm just saying, this is the time of year when we all make resolutions to be better people. Why not be better to ourselves? We'll be glad we did. This episode is brought to you by KenLaSalle.com. Hey, wait a minute, that's my website. You'll find all of my projects and plans and goofy one-offs over on KenLaSalle.com. All of my books and plays, the lot. I hope you'll bookmark it and check it out every few weeks or so, because I'm always adding new stuff. And that's the Monday Morning Show for January 5th, 2015. Be sure to check back next week for another episode. Head on down to KenLaSalle.com for all the latest. You can find my ebooks, paperbacks, and audiobooks all over, etc., etc., etc. You have yourself a terrific week. Be good to yourself. Be kind to others. Let's make this world a better place.
I've been feeling so alone. Nobody here has called me from a function or a phone. If I'm dead, code, let me die. 'Cause I'm only wasting memory alive. If I'm dead, code, wipe the drive. 'Cause I'd rather be a memory than a ghost who's still alive.